What's up, y'all? My name is Jeremiah, and I'm here with a special guest. My man's Damon,
Yo, what up?
and you're tuned into Swamp Stories. Today, I got a special topic we're gonna talk about. Something that I'm personally interested in, and that is who is the greatest underground rapper of our generation. We're gonna start off with you, Damon.
So underground rap, I would subjectify it as somebody who's just a rapper who's coming up. So I feel like my goat would be Lil Uzi Vert, seeing as he started in the SoundCloud days back in 2014, 2015, and then dropped his first album back in 2016.
Okay.
To the point where now Uzi music is on radios and TV shows.
I respect that. Me personally, I gotta say my underground goat is Playboy Carti. And I say Playboy Carti because he gives that nostalgic sound, like an era that nobody else can replicate. Now, Little Uzi, you know what I'm saying? He got a wide discography. He has a large variety of sound, very creative artist, very intuitive with what he does, and I respect him as an artist for that. But with Playboy Carti is like his demeanor and the way he crafts himself when it comes to music, how he built his way up to the top where he is right now. I respect that, and I listen to him a lot more. So I gotta just say he's my go overall.
Yeah, bias might play a factor into who's the GOAT. So, no, there's no right answer here. But I feel as if when we talk about GOATs, you got to think about the impact they have on the music scene. And I feel as if Uzi has a lot of impact on dancing music. He lets artists, he has impact on the clothing side too. People say Uzi dress feminine, Uzi dress this. Uzi's just very creative, and that might have came from Young Thug and his whole Riri come out. But I feel as if Uzi has so much impact on the world with the dancing to the point that he's brought the world together through dancing and dancing music, which is something that you can't say a lot of rappers have done.
Now, if you want to talk about influence, you gotta say, like, bro, you can't lie here. Playboy Carti takes the cake. You gotta think. He's been around Og, ASAP Rocky's record label. He's been around Og since his early days in music. And he's been around one of the greatest fashion innovators of all time, Kanye West, Virgil Abloh, Pharrell Williams. Like, I can name plenty of names that he's been around and he's picked up things from. But in 2020, we had an epidemic where Playboy Carti had grown men wearing tight leather pants with Rick Owens and women's bags. If you want to talk about influence and how he changed an entire game and aesthetic of something that's been around but he popularized, bro, you can't lie. He's the GOAT at that. I might even have to say better than Uzi when it comes to influence.
You can't say that, but at the same time, like I said earlier, it might just be more so biasy. So if we compare numbers and compare billboards and all that, Uzi would have more number one songs. He would have more of that because he releases more music. So I feel as if that's not fair because you can't compare somebody who doesn't drop music to somebody who drops music consistently. So I feel as if the only way we could base it is just off of impact, really. Yeah, like, that's really the only way. And it's still, at the same time, impact is, you can't, how do you measure impact? Some fans are into the skinny jeans and the Rick Owens, while some are on the Uzi side dressing more freely.
Okay, I can see that. But when it comes to impact, everybody's GOAT has its own GOAT. So you got to think for Playboy Carti, he said he got his influence from Chief Keef. Chief Keef made 2010s trap music and changed Chicago drill for the best. And when you talk about breaking down from different artists and artists showing their different sides of swag they got, it is really beautiful because it shows their growth and how they became the artists that they are today. And I feel like with Uzi and Playboi Carti, it's like they came up at the same time. Now, even though Uzi does have more mainstream songs that's popular, playing on the radio, things of that nature, I feel like with Playboi Carti, he just has the pleasing sound. Like when I hear a Cash Carti song, I'm like, yeah, this fire. From the replay value on every Playboi Carti album is a 10. When I go to Uzi's most recent dropped album, or I'll go to Uzi's, I listen to all the Uzi albums. I can say most of them do got replay value, but not as much as Playboi Carti's four released, or five released albums.
Yeah. So see, like that's the thing what I was saying. You can't compare. You have to compare whole discographies, and you just can't compare albums because, like you said, Uzi has more albums. So I feel as if, you know, you like you said, they came up at the same time. So you like their fire is being fueled by other fire. So Uzi, Cardi could see Uzi's dropping hits after hits after hits. So all that's making Cardi do is want to drop more hits to the point that they're in competition, but at the same time, it's like a brotherly love. So I feel as if trying to compare the two is just pointless.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. But if we talking about, you know what I'm saying, Ghosts of Underground, I can see how there can be a little competition. Now, with impact and growth, let's go back 5 years, 6 years to 2020, okay? And let's see the artist progression. In the past 6 years, Playboi Carti has made his own label called Opium and has, let's see, Destroy Lonely, Ken Carson, Homicide Gang, Michi, Homicide Gang, Bino, and a new member, Apollo Red. And it's like with those new artists, they're selling out shows. And I look at Uzi. Does Uzi have a label?
No, Uzi doesn't have a label, but he's currently making his own women's fashion
Really?
dropout. So he's not focused more so on the music side of trying to become a label owner. He more so wants to become on the fashion side and do things like that. More so open up his discography to other things other than just music, and people only know him off of music.
Okay, so he taking the Kanye for real route.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually respect that because me, as somebody that's into fashion myself, I like that a lot because when it comes to like hip hop, streetwear and fashion has a lot to do with that category, and it all ties together because as soon as hip hop got made, more streetwear styles has been progressed and popularized by the black community. And this starts off in the early '80s. I'm talking about sweatsuits from Adidas, rocking back from Run DMC, and then we get to the '90s with the baggy clothes. 2000s even baggier. We go Nelly wear, or you could say Jim Jones influence, Max B influence, Joel Santana. Like all of those people, when it comes to streetwear and hip hop, it's like they're distant cousins that became blood brothers and sisters. Like it became such a good combination that it's gone on for this many years and progressed over the years from style to style. And my personal favorite era, it gotta be the 2010 era when Kanye West debuted Yeezy, and it was just an amazing era that I can think back to.
I feel like we could talk about this conversation for hours on it. So I feel like, to relapse on the question at hand, who is the GOAT? I feel as if we can't answer that question because there's so much biasy. There's so much, different accolades that each person has that you can't compare the two. You can't compare who's the underground rapper, the greatest of all time. So I feel as if, we had a good conversation about it. There's not much more we could say.
And I can't do nothing but agree with that, man. We could talk about this for hours, but This has been your Swamp Stories. I'm your host, Jeremiah Hardison. My boy Damon, he finna leave with us.
All right.
And I'll catch y'all on the next side. Peace.